Good evening, everybody. Keith here. Hoping everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, loving life. Wanted to get on and talk to everybody about the Doctrine of Discovery. You know, we're all taught in school about Columbus discovered America. Yet somehow all he did was float on by and send somebody else on shore to investigate. And then we also think about that same Doctrine of Discovery. If you think about the recent history, the Christian minister that was cruising on by an island and saw these inhabitants in ancient tribal garb and decided he had discovered some people that needed some doctrine. And so he went ashore and tried to assert his doctrine of discovery amongst people that were already covered. They already had covery. What is discover? Discover. They supposedly pronounce that they are going to take a cover off. What cover are they taking off? Are we not already under a cover of God? Period. So when Columbus discovered America, did he really discover America? Did he really uncover the protection that America already had? In a sense, we see that today through all the corruption. And it's all done under the prepose of discovery. Whereas if you learn your true faith and you discover yourself, in other words, take that veil off of yourself that is preventing you from being protected by your Creator. What is that veil? That veil is the very language that I'm speaking of. See, when you profess that you are already covered, then no doctrine of discovery can discover that. He guides me, he protects me, and I shall not waver. You can't discover me. I've already discovered myself. I've already exposed my protection. And so I want to read something to you. As you see in the title, I put in a certain case, Johnson versus McIntosh. Here it's an old case, 1823, and so they don't use the C, they just use a M apostrophe. But it is Johnson versus McIntosh. And it's a landmark decision of the U.S. Supreme Court that held that private citizens could not purchase lands from Native Americans. The Discovery Doctrine, or Doctrine of Discovery, is a concept of public international law expounded by the United States Supreme Court in a series of decisions, most notably the Johnson versus McIntosh. As the facts were recited by Chief Justice John Marshall, the successor in interest to a private purchase from the Pankashaw attempted to maintain an action of ejectment against the holder of a federal land patent. And I've discussed this here recently as well. It's patent, not patent. It is patent, as in latent, as in the opposite of patent is latent. Patent is what rides on top. Latent is what rides below. Overlying, underlying, overlying, underlying. And they are saying that they have an overlying right. They have an overlying right of holder of the land. No, they have what's known as an overlying privilege of what's known as a legal title only, period. Nothing more and nothing less. Just the title. And that is merely for purposes of keeping track of the records, so that if there comes a dispute, they can assist as a third party. But that is not a requirement. In fact, we are to go to our brother in private and not through some public international law. Pure and simple. Chief Justice Marshall explained and applied the way that colonial powers laid claim to lands belonging to foreign sovereign nations during the Age of Discovery. Under it, title to the lands lay with the government, whose subjects traveled to and occupied. And that's why we have what's known today as occupations. They are occupying because they come from a foreign land belonging to their own sovereignty as a nation, and not to the lands that they are occupying. They have no actual title to this land, period. They only merely have a privilege of title through this doctrine of discovery, saying that the federal government holds patent. Only a private man can hold what's known as patent or patent rights, period. And occupied a territory whose inhabitants were not subjects of a European Christian monarch. This is the foreign sovereign nation that acclimated the doctrine of discovery through the American system, known as the United States courts in the American system. The doctrine has been primarily used to support decisions invalidating or ignoring Aboriginal possession, not some patent title held in legal land, but possession and use of land in favor of colonial or post-colonial governments. That right there tells you this man committed treason on the bench. I don't care what any legal bar attorney will tell you. As a man of law, a true lawyer, this man, Chief Justice John Marshall, in making this decision and putting forth this decision in public, by the words he used, committed treason. Had the people recognized it at that time, if the proper people had recognized it at that time in all equitable fashion, pure equity in nature, they would have realized that the quote native aboriginals had possession, and that is superior and paramount in equity. The 1823 case was the result of collusive lawsuits. I'm going to pull this one up for you real quick. Because you'll be interested to find out what collusive lawsuits mean. Collusive lawsuit or collusive action is a lawsuit in which the parties to the suit have no actual quarrel with one another, but one sues the other to achieve some result desired by both. So they are merely fornicating in these courts and through the public and economic system of politics, this entire political body that people argue, well, I'm a Democrat, or I'm a Republican, or I'm right, or I'm left, or I'm liberal, or I'm whatever. Everybody's just suing each other for their own benefit, which is of both those parties. Period. This is the disillusion, where land speculators speculate, as in spectacles. They are viewing, they are speculating, work together to make claims to achieve a desired result. John Marshall explained the court's reasoning. The decision has been the subject of a number of law-reviewed articles and has come under increased scrutiny by modern legal theorists. And now I'll explain to you the very root of the doctrine of discovery, as I explained with Christopher Columbus in his religious exploration of the world to go forth and occupy uninhabited or foreign lands and preach the word of Christianity, where in that same a Christian going by a seemingly small island inhabited by ancient peoples in still wearing ancient tribal garb tried to profess his doctrine of discovery from his Christian beliefs. The doctrine of discovery exists from the origins of the Vatican. The doctrine of discovery established a spiritual, political, and legal justification for colonization and seizure of land that they say not inhabited by Christians. Sounds like Christians aren't professing the word of God, but rather for the colonization and seizure of land not inhabited by Christians. It has been invoked since Pope Alexander VI issued the papal bull Inter Caetera. Caetera. CAE. Let's look that one up. CAE under Latin root. Chop, hew, cut, cut down, cut to pieces, cut out, slaughter, sodomize, strike, smite, murder. And of course, terra is land, terrestrial. So they are smiting the land. They are murdering the land. They are sodomizing the land. They are striking the land. They are killing the land. Get it? And that was in 1493. When did Columbus discover America? The papal decree aimed to justify Christian European explorers' claims on land and waterways they allegedly discovered and promote Christian domination and superiority. And as we see, Christian domination is justification of spiritual and political and legal colonization and seizure of land not inhabited by Christians. I ask people around the world, here and now, I don't care what religion you follow. I ask, have you discovered yourself? Have you looked inwards? Have you looked inwards? Please, take heed. Everything is for you to see if you learn the words. Pure and simple. Well, that's all I've got for tonight. I haven't done a Facebook video for a while. When I get done here, I'm going to put my PayPal link for those that are willing to forward a gratuity. I always appreciate it. In the meantime, I'm doing Zooms on Mondays and Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please join me there. If you want an invite, message me through personal messenger. And remember, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this. God bless you. Have a good night. Bye.